What is up guys, and welcome to my latest video here on SP Vids. Today I'm back with another beat making technique video. You guys seem to be really enjoying these ones. My last one especially did very well. I'm enjoying making them. You guys seem to be enjoying watching them, so I thought I would do another one today. So I'm going to be concentrating on a track by the Alchemist called Tight. You have to go back quite far for this one. It's 2007. It's on Rapper's Best Friend, an instrumental series. And yeah, to think that's almost 20 years old now is crazy. And there's a really nice hi-hat effect in this, which I'm going to recreate. I don't know if this is exactly how he did it, but this certainly gets close to the sound. And what it is essentially is hi-hats on the 16ths and then a different hi-hat sound hitting on the quarter notes, I think it is. So I'm going to recreate that on the Lo-Fi 12 XT today. It doesn't matter what hardware you're using. You can use anything, and I'm sure you're going to be able to get a similar effect. So I'm going to use my Lo-Fi Drums Volume 6 pack, which is available on SP Vids. All the links are in the description for that. So let's go ahead and start loading in some sounds. First of all, I'm going to get a hi-hat, and we need quite a tight sounding one for this. Something like this one should work. So we're going to go ahead and load that in. Okay, and then we're going to get another sound on track 4 here. And we want this to be less tight, we want this to be a bit more loose. I think this one should do it, so let's load this one as well. We're going to pitch this one up a bit first. And let's change that endpoint. Okay, nice. That's sounding pretty good. So first of all, I'm going to set a BPM and we're going to go somewhere around 82 should be good. That's kind of good for a nice hip hop feel. And the first thing I'll do, because we have access to this grid here, I'm just going to put this in on all of these pads. This is going to be the 16ths. So hold it down and we can just press this in. Really easy to do. And I can go back later and change dynamics and timing and things like that. But for now, I'll just stick this in so we can hear that. And we might even need to slow this down a little bit more. Let's try 80. Okay, so those are in. Obviously, they sound a little bit boring right now, but we can fix that later. So let's get these in as well. And I think it should just be something like this. And we need a kick and a hat as well, so let's go ahead and choose those. Again, these are all from my Lo-Fi Drums Volume 6 pack, so let's get a kick. Tighten that start point up a little bit. And let's get a snare as well. Again, the start point needs a little bit of a tighten up here. We'll plug these in. And a snare. This should be getting pretty close. And there we go, we're getting that nice accent sound on the quarter notes, and it's creating this kind of nice bouncing rhythm to the hi-hats. We can actually just mute the snare for now. You can hear that accented sound, it really changes the rhythm of what's going on with the hi-hats. I think it's a really nice effect. And let's mix this a little bit. I think this kick needs to come up a bit. This hi-hat actually needs to come down a bit, I think. I want the 16ths to be really subtle. And this one's going to come up a bit as well, so we can hear it over that snare. And those 16ths can probably even go lower, to be honest. somewhere around there. Now we can start messing around with individual hits here. Let's change the velocity on some of these. So we hold function and press a button to do that on this particular device, and we can see here the velocity is at 127, and we can go ahead and turn that down. This is just going to create a little bit more groove, I think, if we have these velocity changes in here. It takes a little bit of time, but I think you could actually go ahead and copy this to different pads, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it manually for this example. I think something like that should be quite good. Now go nice. If we take those accents out and mute them, you can hear the difference. I think those accents really kind of pull the beat along and add, like I say, adds kind of that bounce to it as well, which is really cool. Okay, cool. So that's good. We'll get a sample now and finish this and make a little loop. So I'm going to have to mess around and try and find something in here.
One eternity later.
Okay, I think I might have used this one before at some point, but I'm going to use it again anyway. It's a really nice sounding sample. Okay, and we'll go ahead and chop this. We'll turn it to slice mode. We'll go into the slices, and I'm just going to evenly chop this, and something like 8 chops should be enough. So we'll play around with this until we get 8 chops. There we go. We'll come out of there, and we have to add these to a mute group, so we press pad, and then we've just got to go through. Okay, it's a bit messy sounding, but we should have them in a mute group now. We might have to go back and adjust those points a bit, but we'll see how we get on. We're nearly getting something there, but yeah, something sounds a little bit off. So we'll see if we can adjust these slice points. This is the great thing about the XT, which I love. You can just go back in and start playing around with where the chop points are. Okay, I've played around with those, so we'll see if that's any better now. We'll see if we can get any better ideas. Okay, I think I got something there, which sounds pretty cool. So we'll go back and change the length of this particular area. So you can change the length of each track on this particular device, which is really, really cool, because I can set this to 64. You can see the drums are still going to tick around, looping underneath, and I can change the length of this individually and make this longer so I can get all the chops in that I want. So let's try and record this now. Okay, that sounded pretty cool. On the SP404 Mark II over here, I'm going to add 404 vinyl sim. And I think I've already got the compressors on. Oh, no, I haven't. So I'll put the compressors on now as well. So we might have to do some more mixing now that I've put compression on. Let's see what this sounds before we make any changes. And there we go. I kind of took Alchemist technique there from that track called Tight. We had the 16th hi-hats underneath. That's something that I actually rarely do, so I'm glad to get into that. I think it sounds really nice. And then we had those accents, which I believe are on the quarter notes. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. We used that nice little sample over the top. I think the last stab could be a little bit neater. Maybe I could play around and find something better, but on the whole, that worked really nicely underneath that beat. I think I made quite a nice sounding beat there. So shout out to the Alchemist back in 2007, giving us inspiration still in 2025. Really cool to dig back into the archives and find that little tip. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be sharing more like this soon. So if you're not subscribed, which a lot of you aren't, then make sure you hit that button and you'll be getting more videos like this on your homepage and in your recommended. Don't forget to check out the shop like I mentioned, and a big shout out to all my members as well. I will see you all again in another video very, very soon.